What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Wanted to talk about this because this is something that everybody goes through, is going through, or at some point will end up going through, and it operates on different levels. Every category, everything that I'm getting ready to mention, we all play a part at some point. Just about which part do you play, and that's the concept of loaning money, and that's been a controversial thing, I guess, since money was invented, because you have people who um, loan money out the kindness of their heart. They look out for people who they really, really see need the help, and they break bread out the kindness of their heart under the impression that this person that they're helping out is going to pay them their money back. Flip side, the person who borrows the money, usually has to humble themselves and come at the person in a way to say, "Hey, man, that dreaded, man, I really hate to ask you this, man." But then you end up, looking out for the person and helping them out. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could just be a situation. And you look out for that person. But what happens is it goes bad when the person that you've loaned the money to, when they do get in position to pay the money back, they may or they may not. And a time frame is usually placed on it. Hey, man, just give me this. I got you Friday. Man, I got you on the first. I got you when I get my check. Whenever they set that day, and you look at it and like, okay. And most people like I can speak for myself. If I loan somebody some money and they put a day on when they'll be able to give it back, because I never really asked, hey, well, man, when you gonna have my money back? I kind of let it flow. But they'll say, well, man, I got you on the 15th or whatever the case might be. And that day comes and you're like, okay, I ain't heard from this dude. And the next day come, the next day, next day, next day come. And I typically make it a rule to never loan any amount that I can't stand to get back. That's just the rule. That's just common sense. If you loan someone some money, you should have it in your mind like, if things go left tomorrow, it's not going to break me to not get this amount back. And if it is going to break you, don't loan that amount. So you see people start to change. You see people start to switch up. The very people who came at you so humble and so broken down and so desperate in need of help, and in some cases, if you do challenge them or say, "Hey, man, you got that?" Sometimes they flip out on you. They act like you harassing them, and they tend to forget the spirit that they came to you in when they first needed that help. Those are the type of people you got to watch out for. But also, I never want to advise anybody to go around busting no heads, behind no money, because, like I said earlier, you should never loan an amount that's going to even take you to that level, or an amount that is going to break you if you don't get it back. And it's not worth risking your freedom behind, you know, some crumbs. Or even if it's not crumbs, you got to figure out a way to get that back. And I've seen too many people just get caught up and get jammed up for way less. You wanna do something, but you don't. You think better of it, and you look at the big picture. But also on the flip side, if you are a person who borrowed the money, then try to do your best to keep your word, to give it back when you say you're going to give it back. And at the very least, sometimes you're not able to give it back on the day you thought you was going to be able to. So what you should do is always stay in constant communication with the person you borrowed the money from. If the 15th comes and that's the day you said you would pay them back, but you don't have it, hit them up and say, "Hey, man, just letting you know, I got you. My money didn't come in." Keep the communication, keep the lines of communication open, because that's the worst feeling in the world feel like somebody disappeared on and stunted on you with the money that they loaned you. Because people loan money out the kindness of their heart, and you still have the people who sometimes will originally call it a loan, but when it's time to pay, they claim, "Oh, you gave me this. No, you never said I had to pay this back." So it's so many different levels to it, and you know good and well you're not gonna give somebody that amount that's not uh, your mama or your daddy or somebody that's close to you like that. So it's different levels to it, but the moral is if you get burned once, don't be the dummy that allows yourself to get burned over and over again by the same people or just by different people throughout the course of your life. Don't be that guy who everybody or that girl who everybody feels like they can just come to and use. Because but on the same token, don't feel as though just because you did get stunted on a couple of times, don't let that take away your generosity. Don't let that turn you into this hard-hearted person who won't help people in need, because there still are people who will stay true to their word and deliver when they're supposed to deliver. Don't change your persona and lose blessings behind somebody else being a snake behind some crumbs. Because money is just that. It's just a means to an end, and it's just a way to get the things that are really valuable, if that indeed is what you are purchasing and using the money for. So tell me anything I might have forgot, man. Any of y'all stories y'all might have, because friendships break up behind borrowed money. A lot of people lose friendships behind money. And sometimes, man, we talking amounts like $20, $30, $50, even 100. In this climate, amen, 100 is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme, it's really not. It's really crumbs. So you don't want to be that friend that causes another friend to cut you loose because you didn't honor your word. And if you have the friend that didn't honor their word, that's a tough situation to figure out how to deal with it, how to cope with it, because there are people who would rather just disappear from the planet than pay you back that change they owe you. So like, comment, subscribe, man. Any other topics of advice y'all want me to speak on, feel free. Let your big brother know. And if I see it, and if I like it, if I know something about it, I'll talk about it. It's your big brother K-Rino, man. Peace.